Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be reacting to the comments that Lesean McCoy made, basically bashing Eric Bieniemy and talking about why he doesn't think that Eric Bieniemy will be a successful offensive coordinator in DC, and I'll go over some reactions from other Kansas City players about what Lesean had to say. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content on the road to 11K subscribers. Just hit that sub button, help me get there. Also hit that like button and that notification bell as well. Guys, this video is going to be a little bit rushed. I had to come back from class late, and I'm going to a game a little bit later, Tech versus Miami, but I wanted to give my reaction to this I don't know, just terrible, annoying comments by Lesean McCoy. So basically, I can't play the clip because it is copyrighted, but Lesean McCoy, I guess whatever site he's on, Speak or whatever, I think it might be on Fox, was basically talking, and he's definitely before came out against Eric Bieniemy and kind of trash talked him, but today was kind of saying how when he was there, Eric Bieniemy didn't really do anything. He didn't call plays, he didn't scheme things up, and he was just really didn't say anything in the meetings at all, and he doesn't think he's going to be a successful offensive coordinator and should not be a head coach in this league. Well, basically, and if what he said was true about, everything he said, then I would be very, very concerned. But basically every single thing he said in this 2-minute clip has been refuted by many, and contradicted by many Chiefs players, coaches, assistants, executives, and much more. I mean, it is a fact that Eric Bieniemy schemes these plays up. He might not call them all the time. There's still a question of how many plays he calls per game, but he definitely schemes things up. Andy Reid even said, like, a couple of the touchdown passes that he had where the receiver was wide open, that was Eric Bieniemy that noticed something and schemed that up. And I think Chad Henne might have said that he called that play. I'm not sure 100%, but I've heard the opposite, that in meetings he's very, very vocal. He is very, very detail-oriented and makes sure players get things right 100% of the time. It seems like this is a personal beef between Lesean McCoy and Eric Bieniemy because Lesean McCoy was not good when he played for the Chiefs. I mean, in the wild card game, I believe he played in one snap. I think JP Finley had a tweet out with some of the stats, but he barely played because he was not good. He was obviously good before, but not with the Chiefs, and he just sat there, won a ring with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And yeah, multiple players, including Tyreek Hill, Jamal Charles, have come to the defense of Eric Bieniemy after Lesean McCoy's heavy criticism. Tyreek Hill says Shady Mad EB told him to tuck that ball because we know, you see right here how Lesean was holding the ball. Jamal Charles says Bieniemy deserves to be head coach, and he was just saying, like, I highly disagree with what you're saying. And yeah, that's not the only player. Travis Kelce also came out and talked about, yeah, of course, we've butted heads. Patrick Mahomes even said before he's butted heads with Eric Bieniemy. But at the end of the day, they respect each other, and that's what matters. And if you can't take that criticism, then I don't know what to say. That says something about you and not about Eric Bieniemy, because a lot of players have talked about how this heavy criticism has helped them become better players. The the amount of details he cares about really helps these players become better. And, probably this is the case. Shady McCoy, at the end of his career, a little bit lazy, a little bit older, doesn't want to practice as hard, and was probably mad that Eric Bieniemy was like, hey, you're going to practice the same as all these other guys because you're on this roster. And I guess he probably didn't do that, and he's got some personal beef. And there was a tweet from someone, Ref the District, shout out to them. He says, Eric Bieniemy is a no-nonsense OC. The two guys who have spoken out against him, Shady McCoy and Lev Bell, are two nonsense guys. And I kind of agree with that. Two guys that really didn't care that much when they were in Kansas City. Two guys that really didn't do much. And yeah, it is what it is. And someone says, has anyone spoken out against Andy Reid? I don't know, not lately, but probably. But it's harder to do that directly with a head coach versus someone like Eric Bieniemy, with especially the running backs. He's much more involved because he was a former NFL running back. He was a running backs coach for a while in this league. I believe he was a former running back. It was a second-round pick, and he was a running backs coach for a very, very long time. So he's obviously going to be more involved with the running backs. And that's why, head coach isn't as involved with the players. They're more involved with the players as a whole, but he's got to be worried about 53 on a regular roster and then some more practice squad guys. The offensive coordinator is, worried about half of the amount of players because they don't have to worry about the defense. And Eric Bieniemy specifically was probably harder and still probably is harder on the running backs than he is the other positions because he was a running back. So he's probably more involved there. Also, one other thing to consider there, it's been 3 seasons since Lesean McCoy was there, and Eric Bieniemy, I believe, was in his 2nd season as an OC when Shady McCoy was there. So even if what Lesean McCoy was saying was true, that, he didn't have much responsibility, that could have definitely, and it definitely probably did change over 3 seasons. I don't think this is a good look by LeSean McCoy. It is what it is. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to, make crazy takes so that they can get clicks, and it's working. I mean, the video has 2.3 million views. I'm talking about it, and it's working out, but still, it is annoying. And here's Tyreek Hill. A year ago, he says, y'all really hitting on AB. He beat one of the best coaches in the building, or he is one of the best coaches in the building. This past, I guess, a week ago, he says, EB still no job is crazy to me. Another great coach slept on. That's a receiver, not a running back, but a receiver who worked with Eric Bieniemy, who really likes him, and he thinks he should be a head coach. And then today, he said, Shady Mad EB told him to tuck that ball. So I think the players kind of know why Eric Bieniemy is beefing with, or why Shady McCoy is beefing with him, and Le'Veon Bell, the same thing. And then here's many former players commenting. You can see Tyrann Mathieu, man, you effed up with it. Jamal Charles says, I have to disagree with you, Shady. Bieniemy coached me for 4 years. I learned so many things from AB. Doesn't zoom in much, but he basically says he's still close with him. Ron Parker says, EB was a solid coach in the building my entire career at KC. I think it might be a little hate in here from bro. I don't know. And then someone else, Jeff Allen, I don't know who that is, but he said that's cap. And then Josh Gordon kind of agreed with Tyreek Hill there. So it seems like personal beef. This doesn't concern me at all. Honestly, it makes me feel better that all these players are, stepping up and defending Eric Bieniemy, because if they weren't, that would be a little bit more of an issue. But you see how many players that even on the defensive side of the ball that are like, what is this guy doing? What is LeSean McCoy doing? And just sticking up for him because they don't want to see this on their timeline. I really like this, honestly. I'm happy LeSean McCoy did it because it shows how hateful he is, and it just shows how hateful he is and how clearly there was a personal beef between the two. And hey, I'm happy to see Tyreek Hill, Josh Gordon, Tyrann Mathieu, Jamal Charles, Ron Parker. We even saw, I think there was a Travis Kelce quote. I'm trying to see where it is, but it was somewhere in here, and he basically was coming to his defense as well. So just another guy coming to his defense. I think this might have been today where he said it. So that's just something I like to see as well. And yeah, there's always going to be haters. There's always going to be haters, but it is what I want to see what LeSean McCoy said in his original tweet. Let's see what it says. Let's see what he says. I'm going to read it right here. He says, I wish him well, but Washington, don't let the Chiefs' success or coaching titles fool y'all. The traits or skills you need to be a good coordinator, I haven't seen or witnessed it. Okay, so it is what it is. Things could have definitely changed over the next 3 years that he was, after LeSean McCoy was cut, and things definitely